Hello, welcome to Lemon Studios, where we talk anything and everything entertainment. I'm, of course, the Lemon himself, Zeke Lamone, and this is Wrestling Ranking Sunday. And on this video, we are going to rank the top 25 WWE superstars and the 11 divisions themselves. But before we get into that, let's get the house clean out of the way. Share, leave a like, comment below, and know your thoughts on this top 25 list and division ranking. And give me your own if you so choose to do so. And, of course, hit that subscribe button as it helps me grow into my YouTube career. I would greatly appreciate it. All that out of the way. Let's get into it, shall we? So, this is a new thing that we are doing on this channel. It's our second time doing this, so we can actually compare from month to month for the first time. And on this, we ranked the 11 divisions. Last month, we did 2 separate videos, and as I was reviewing them, I found myself repeating myself a lot in that. So just going to merge them all here, and I'm not here to try to waste anyone's more time because these videos do tend to go along. So what we could do first is that we're going to rank the 11 divisions and, the champions, and talk about the champions and the top 5 contenders for those respective divisions. And after that, we're going to do the top 25 list and see where they rank. And we'll also talk a little bit about comparing about who went up, who went down, so on and so forth. So without further ado, let's just get right into it. So kicking off the division ranking at the 11th spot, they did not move from last month. It's the World Tag Team Champions, your championship division. Your champs are the Judgment Day, JD McDonough and Finn Balor. The number 1 contenders division, Braun and Bronson. 2 Usos, 3 New Day, 4 War Raiders, and 5 the Americanos. So the reason why they are 11 is because there is no fire for those titles whatsoever. No one seems to want them at all. It doesn't even seem like JD McDonough and Finn Balor want them at this point. They're just on display. I don't even recall them coming out with the titles anymore. There's no urgency for contenders. There's no urgency to get these titles on TV whatsoever. I can't even recall, well, I guess when JD and Rusev fought, but again, I cannot recall that JD came out with his entrance with that belt. So sometimes I forget who are the champions, or they even have a championship on Monday nights, because there is no focus on them whatsoever. The Vision's only number 1 contender because they were part of the only feud that's in the tag division with the Usos, and they won at WrestlePalooza. I do think the Vision needs to go for those belts. Hopefully after this street fight that happens on Monday night, it goes, hey, we beat the Usos twice. We want those tag titles because that is the Vision. We want to take over, and taking over is winning every single belt. I don't know why the Vision isn't going for those titles. If you're going to just have them as display, at least they'll be featured in the ring every single week. Again, these titles just have no showcase whatsoever. That's why they stay at number 11. And at number 10, again, not moving whatsoever, is the Women's U.S. title. Senior champion is Julia. Number 1 contender is Michin. 2, B-Fab. 3, Nikki Cross. 4, Chelsea Green. And 5, Zelina Vega. So the reason why the Women's U.S. title scene is 10 and the World Tag titles are number 11 is, like I said, at least with the Women's U.S. title, there is a need for the belt. They want to fight for it. Michin is currently trying to get to Julia so she can get that belt. It's very clear she wants the title. While, again, the World Tag division, no one really seems to care for those belts whatsoever, which is the only reason why it jumps up. And as for the rankings itself, it is because, well, Michin and B-Fab are 1 and 2. I think we can all agree there for the most part. 3, Nikki Cross, simply because she went up some stairs, looked at a conversation that Michin and Julia had, and I thought she would be interested in it, but she hasn't really seemed to be there in any other segments that happened in preceding weeks. Chelsea Green is only 4 because, well, at least she's showcased on television, and 5, Zelina Vega, because she was the last contender, and I need to fill up 5 spots. And the 9th spot, dropping 4 spots from last month, is the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. Your champions are Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. 1 is the Kabuki Warriors. 2, the Judgment Day. 3, Sol Roca and Zarya. 4, Julia and Kiana James. And 5, Michin and B-Fab. So now you're probably wondering, wait, Sol Roca and Zarya went up to Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss saying, hey, we would like a title shot, and they're saying no. So clearly that's the next feud. Why aren't they the number 1 contenders? Well, it's not official yet. And also it was the first time they made their appearance to see that. Now, I'm kind of fuzzy on my NXT knowledge. I don't really recall them interacting with each other on NXT. But, the Kabuki Warriors are arguably part of the best. Since there isn't a clear number 1 contender, we could free roam with the top 5, right? the Kabuki Warriors are arguably part of the best storyline on Monday Night Raw, right? If it ain't gold, it's definitely silver. 2, the Judgment Day, they're being showcased every week on television. So Ruka and Zarya just got there, and they did make their intentions clear. They want the titles. Again, there's a 1 for the title, which is why they're higher ranked. And then, of course, Julia and Kiana James, they were just showcased on TV. 4 and 5, I just need to fill out some numbers, and those 2 teams were showcased on television one way or another. So that's how you get to the top 5 here. Once Ruka and Zarya actually win the number 1 contenders match, then, they'll go up. And if that is in the indication when we get here next month, then they will be here within that. But simply because they aren't the contenders yet, that's why they dropped to 3, and they're not immediately up there at number 1. It was a conversation had, but I do think the Kabuki Warriors and the Judgment Day are just booked better within the division right now, as opposed to Ruka and Zarya. And again, their NXT stuff is kind of fuzzy to me because I can only watch so much wrestling and remember it all within the week. But yeah, that's why they're 9, because again, they just lost his luster, and it was due to unfortunate circumstances too. They were having this feud with the Secret Herbist, and Charlotte got legitimately hurt, so she was out for a couple weeks, or it was just a precaution. Depending on what you read, it was just a precaution. They wanted to make sure that Charlotte Flair was safe, so that's why they moved the division. And then Piper Niven, I mean, there's word that she may never wrestle again, so all the best to her. So due to those 2 very unfortunate circumstances, I'm not by no means criticizing or punishing the division for that, but it reflects on the television. It just lost its luster a little bit. Again, it dropped 4 spots. That means this was like ranked 5 when we did this last month, and now it's the number 9. And again, it was due to unfortunate circumstances, but it is what it is. And 8, another division that dropped 3 spots is the WWE Tag Team division, the men's one, where we had this big cluster of 6 teams in a tables, ladders, and chairs match on SummerSlam, one of the best matches of the weekend. And now it's just kind of teetering, going here and there, and we're still in the same storyline. Still an interesting storyline, and there is focus on it, which again is why it goes up to 8. Your champs are the Wyatt 6. 1 is the Street Profits. 2, Mello Don't Miss. The 1 and 2 might be breaking up pretty soon, so we'll have to reshuffle the deck here maybe next month. 3, the Motor City Machine Guns. 4, MFTs. 5, Fraxium. Motor City Machine Guns, they were in that tournament. Fraxium, they were on TV recently. MFTs, they're in video packages. So that's why they're the top 3. But yeah, we need to showcase some more teams here. The tag divisions, all tag divisions are already gone. And we're not even at number 7 of the 11 divisions. It just is what it is. But yeah, I am enjoying the Street Profits and Wyatt 6 storyline quite a bit. I think it does result that the Street Profits break up. It is probably time for that. Mello Don't Miss, again, they were in the number 1 contenders match on SmackDown, but Carmelo did let let Miz get pinned, so maybe that team is no longer ready for the future, which again is probably time. But again, there is some focus on that division. There are stories being told with those teams within that division, which is why it gets up to 8. At number 7, going up 2 spots from last month, is the WWE Women's Championship division. Your champion is Tiffany Stratton. 1, Jade Cargill. 2, Nia Jax. 3, Bianca Belair, who is injured. 4, Charlotte Flair. 5, Trish Stratus. 3 through 5, simply because I know as soon as Bianca Belair comes back, she's going to be thrusted into this division, and she'll probably be the one who is going to beat Tiffany Stratton for that belt, and they're just bypassing time for it. Charlotte Flair, she was the last contender, which was WrestleMania, which shows how this division is being booked. And Trish Stratus, again, she was the last contender at Evolution, even though I don't expect to see her on TV anymore. But we really try not to double dip anything. There was conversation to have Julia within the top 5, because Tiffany and Julia did look at each other one time with their belts. But again, Julia hasn't made her intentions clear ever since, which I do think was like 2 months ago. So that's why the top 5 follows the way that it is. And I did like the program between the triple threat. I mean, I kind of roll my eyes a little bit because I don't want Nia Jax within the title picture anymore, which I want to clarify. I do not hate Nia Jax. Like I said, last year, 2024, best comeback wrestler for females, it's Nia Jax, and she should have been part of the WrestleMania card. I will defend that to my dying days. I just don't need her in the title picture right now, especially with Tiffany as the champion. It's run its course. Now that we're past the triple threat match, I kind of hope we do just Jade and Nia feuding, and you can make it a number 1 contenders feud as long as Jade Cargill wins. Again, I wouldn't mind a 3rd match between, or is it the 4th? I wouldn't mind a 4th match between Jade Cargill and Tiffany Stratton, where it is true winner take all. Maybe make it a 2 out of 3 falls match. But yeah, I think we're just bypassing time until Bianca Belair comes back. And especially with the whole, Tiffany Stratton's now the third longest women's champion, WWE women's champion of all time, with only Becky and Bianca above her. I do think we get her to 2, and then we have Bianca be like, you're not going to break my record. And I think that's the story that we tell there, and I think that could be really interesting, and then Bianca can win it, and then we could do Bianca versus Jade for the title, which I do think was the plan all along in some form of capacity. In the 6th box, we have the 6th box. In the 6th spot, we have the Women's World Championship. We have the champion Stephanie Vaquer, 1 Io Sky, 2 Rhea Ripley, 3 Asuka, 4 Kairi Sane, and 5 Raquel Rodriguez. Now you're probably thinking, oh well, he put Raquel in there because again he had to fill up a spot. In a way, yes, but the only reason, because I really thought about putting Raquel at number 1, because I do think Raquel will probably be the first feud for Stephanie Vaquer post Crown Jewel, or maybe post Survivor Series, because I do think Stephanie's going to be part of the Women's War Games match, is that Raquel Rodriguez has been on a little bit of a winning streak. It's a little sneaky winning streak, too. And there's no way Stephanie Vaquer is going to lose her title on her first defense. So who's a good person that could be a first matchup that you can just get Stephanie over? She has to overcome as a babyface. You give her this monster, Raquel Rodriguez. What I said about Nia Jax, about being the best comeback wrestler of 2024, I think Raquel Rodriguez is, or not comeback, but like most improved, I would say it's Raquel Rodriguez. She has done great work. Her matches have been really good. I think her character work has been really good this year too. When Liv comes back, I think we're going to really test that character quite a bit. And she has been getting a lot of wins lately. Usually it's Roxanne who's losing now, as opposed to Raquel. When Liv was there, it was the other way. So again, Io, Rhea, Asuka, Kairi, again, arguably part of the greatest story, of the best story on Monday Night Raw right now. Arguably the best story of WWE overall, to be completely honest with you. They're going to be tangled up with each other all the way through. Again, we do this tag match at Crown Jewel, which I am really looking forward to. Those 4 are going to be the 2 opposing teams in War Games that they have to recruit people for. Stephanie Vaquer has been a part of that because Asuka had the moment with her. And, you know, she's been talking to Rhea Ripley. So, again, I don't think we probably get Stephanie's first proper feud. Earliest is that Saturday night's main event. Maybe Raquel Rodriguez is part of that, and the Kabuki Warriors recruit the Judgment Day to be part of their team. And, again, with this Survivor Series being the stadium as opposed to an arena, they got to really beef up those 2 War Games matches to fill out that baseball stadium. So, yeah. Keep an eye out for Raquel Rodriguez and the other 4 on top, because there is no clear contender, because Stephanie's occupied with the Crown Jewel Championship. There's some free room that we can do there with the top 5. But again, watch out for Raquel Rodriguez. And the number 5 spot is the Men's IC Championship, dropping 1 from last month. Your champion is Dominic Mysterio, who is now a double campeon. Number 1 is Rusev. 2 is Penta. 3 AJ Styles. 4 El Grande Americano. And 5 Sheamus. Sheamus I did have to fill out a spot on. And he was the last one who was in a feud with Rusev, who is our number 1 contender. Rusev and Penta had the contenders match, which is why Penta goes to 2. AJ Styles goes to 3. And he is feuding with El Grande Americano, which is why he goes to 4. And that's how you get the formation there. Yeah, you know, we had some good stuff here. Again, it was number 4 last month. AJ and Dominic did some great work on it. But again, it's just kind of teetering right now. Dominic now doing double duty. I think Monday Rusev needs to wins the title. And Rusev could just be this dominant champion. Kind of do what we did with his U.S. title run when he first debuted all the way back in 2016 or 2014 is when Rusev first debuted. So maybe go back to that with the IC title. A little bit of a Gunther run, if you will. And there are some good stories to tell. I think Sheamus could be the one to beat Rusev as well, and we can finally fulfill that story. But yeah, that's the only reason why it stays at 5, because there is a focus on it. You can see, okay, yeah, Rusev is the number 1 contender, so on and so forth. But yeah, that's why it is number 5. And the 4th spot is the U.S. Men's Championship, going up 3 spots from last month. Your champion is Sami Zayn, 1 Aleister Black, 2 Damian Priest, 3 Shinsuke Nakamura, 4 Solo Sikoa, and 5 Carmelo Hayes. Interesting with how this division works out, because Sami Zayn's doing the open challenge. So the 5 contenders really don't mean anything because anyone can answer. I mean, we had Javon Evans on SmackDown last week, so you were kind of just free roam to go, well, how do you see the main card playing out? Aleister Black and Damian Priest are actually feuding with each other, assuming the final match is going to be a last man standing match. So that's why they're 1 and 2. Shinsuke Nakamura has been in the background watching Sami Zayn segments, which makes me really wonder that maybe Shinsuke Nakamura is the one to beat Sami Zayn, which again, I do not want. Not that I don't think their matches will be good, it's just Shinsuke has kind of ran his course at this point when it comes to WWE. I don't think anyone's going to really fully buy into him, no matter how many times you represent him at this point. What, in my ideal world, is that Oba Femi debuts on the main roster now that he is no longer the NXT champion, answers the U.S. Open Challenge, and on his first night wins the U.S. title. That's what I want. But again, with how WWE is presenting Shinsuke Nakamura, it's just a matter of time until he answers the challenge, and then he'll beat Sami Zayn for it. Which again, I don't want. I just see that happening. In the 3 spots, the WWE Championship, dropping 1 from last month. Your champion is Cody Rhodes, 1 Drew McIntyre, 2 Brock Lesnar, 3 Randy Orton, 4 Jacob Fatu, and 5 Logan Paul. Logan Paul had to make up some numbers. Jacob Fatu is no longer part of the U.S. title scene. He's feuding with Drew McIntyre now, which is why we moved from the U.S. and we put him in the WWE title division. Drew McIntyre, he's going to face Cody Rhodes again at some point. And, he is still doing great work. I think the segment that him and Jacob Fatu had was great. Brock Lesnar, he probably won't be there next month because rumor is he's not going to be there until the Royal Rumble, which again, what's the point of Brock Lesnar being here? Randy Orton, at some point, he's going to turn heel. He's teaming with Cody Rhodes right now. And then, of course, we already talking about Jacob Fatu. And, the WWE division only drops because ever since Cena lost the title, no fault to anyone, well, besides WWE, is that we knew Cody Rhodes was going to leave. So he hasn't really been there, so therefore they kind of been like just free roaming for a little bit for a while. Now Cody Rhodes is back. He has his focus. The WWE title defense with Drew McIntyre was kind of like at a speed run pace because, again, Cody just came back and the PLE was right around the corner. Now he's occupied with this Crown Jewel Championship, which is why, again, it drops 1 spot. And the 2 going up 1 spot is the Women's IC Championship. Your champion is Becky Lynch. 1 is AJ Lee, 2 Bayley, 3 Lyra Valkyria, 4 Nikki Bella, 5 Natalya. Nikki Bella and Natalya, they were the last 2 defenses on Becky Lynch, which is why they fill up the numbers. Lyra Valkyria, I know she can't go after Becky until she... for the title until Becky loses it. But her and Bayley have a great feud going on. Again, maybe bronze, the 3rd best storyline on Monday Night Raw right now. And then AJ Lee at 1 because she made Becky Lynch tap out, and that's obviously the direction that we're going to go with this division. And I'm really, really liking everything that we're doing with the Women's IC title, which again is why it's at number 2. And at number 1, not changing from last month, is the World Heavyweight Championship. Your champion is Seth Rollins, 1 CM Punk, 2 Jey Uso, 3 LA Knight, 4 John Cena, 5 Roman Reigns. John Cena moves to the World Heavyweight division because he's no longer going to appear on SmackDown, so he's not going to go for the WWE title. His last 2 TV appearances on a Monday night, so that's why he moves over there. Roman Reigns need to make up some numbers, and he's about to be back pretty soon. LA Knight and Jey Uso. Again, I think as Asuka and Io is the best story on Monday nights, but I think you can make an argument that Jey Uso and LA are also one of the best stories going on Monday nights as well. And then CM Punk, he was part of the winning team of the mixed tag match. He's going to get that title match, assumingly post War Games, because I would think that the War Games match is the Vision versus Team Punk at Survivor Series. So yeah, those are the rankings of the 11 divisions. Now, because we're already going long, let's just get straight into the top 25. First, we're going to do the first 5 out, so 26 through 30. No ranking in particular, but, the last time I did the top 25, I didn't do the first 5 out. And people are like, well, where was this person? Where was this person? So your first 5 out are Randy Orton, Aleister Black, Damian Priest, AJ Styles, and Carmelo Hayes. Carmelo Hayes has had a great storyline going on right now. Damian Priest and Aleister Black feuding with each other. Randy Orton is mixed in with the WWE title scene, but he keeps coming in and out, which is why he stays out of the top 25. And then AJ Styles, again, if there was a 26, it was probably him. But, it just is what it is, because the way the top 25 works is that all 11 champions make it in one way, shape, or form or another. If they are in a group, then those titles go in with each other. So you'll see like stars next to the actual champions when they show ranked on it. So like Judgment Day, they have the Intercontinental and the World Tag Team title. So therefore there's 2 stars next to their name. Vision, they have the Women's IC title and the World Heavyweight title. So there's 2 stars next to their name. And excuse me, sorry. And either way, just because they are champions, that doesn't mean they are ranked at 1 through 11. You can be a champion and you can be number 25 because your division doesn't do that well. And therefore, I think it's a reflection of your booking. Again, not as you as a wrestler. It's just how the cookie crumbles sometimes. And as you can see here, starting off, we're going to do with the bottom 10 first. And again, we'll talk about the bottom 10. talk about where the rankings come from, and then we'll go to the next 10, and then we'll do the top 5 after that. So 25 through 16, we have Julia, the women's U.S. champion, doesn't move from last month. Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss in the 24 spot. 23, we have Rusev. 22, the Street Profits. 21, Lyra Valkyria. 20, the Wyatt 6. 19, Nia Jax. 18, Bailey. 17, Jade Cargill. And 16, Tiffany Stratton. So we already got 4 champions out immediately. Like I said, just because you're a champion doesn't mean you're guaranteed 1 through 11. You're just guaranteed to be within the top 25. Julia, again, her contenders don't contend for the top 25 whatsoever. And again, the only reason that she's on here is because she is a champion. Same with Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. Wyatt 6, they do have an interesting story. Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss dropping 10 spots, which is the biggest drop from month to month here. They were 14 last month. Here they are 24. Wyatt 6, one of the bigger drops too, in the middle at 5 spots. And there, then you have, oh, no, that's in the next set. But yeah, as you can see, some people have dropped here. Lyra Valkyria, Rusev, and Nia Jax making their debut within the top 25 because there's actual focus on them now. Street Profits going up a couple spots. And then Bailey going up 4, Jade Cargill going up 4, and Tiffany Stratton going up 4 within this division ranking. So you can see how much of a progression 1 month can really make. As you can see, some people went up 4 spots and some people dropping below. And now we move into number 15 through 6. We have Judgment Day at 15, Kabuki Warriors at 14, 13, Rhea Ripley, 12, Io Sky, 11, Stephanie Vaquer, 10, Sami Zayn, 9, John Cena, 8, Brock Lesnar, 7, AJ Lee, and 6, Drew McIntyre. John Cena, he dropped a couple bit because I couldn't really justify Brock Lesnar being above him, and I could not justify Brock Lesnar not being within the top 25 because he was showcased relatively a lot throughout September. Next month, again, if he is not to be back into the Royal Rumble, he will not be in the top 25, but Cena will be. And you know, as we get closer to the end of this run, I do need to start considering maybe taking John Cena out before December, just to see where we are showcasing, because he's not going to go for a title anymore. But you know, he's still very prevalent. He's still a big storyline piece. Everyone's really excited for his crown jewel match with AJ Styles, which again, if there was a 26, it would have been AJ. Yeah, John Cena dropping 3 spots. Sami Zayn going up 3. Stephanie Vaquer going up 7 because she is actually being showcased on TV now that we know she was just really sick. Io dropping 1. Rio dropping... Rio? Well, I guess that's her tag team name. Rhea dropping 1. Kabuki Warriors going up 9. Probably the biggest jump out of the top 25. No debuts from the 15 through 6 spot. Oh, no, wait. Brock Lesnar and AJ Lee. AJ Lee, because again, she made Becky Lynch tap out. And again, it's one of the most focal storylines within Monday Night Raw. Again, competing for top storylines on it. Not 1 or 2. She could be competing for the 3rd best storyline. But still, making their debut. And Brock, again, I just couldn't justify him not being in it because he was very showcased on it, and he did beat John Cena, which is why he goes into the 8th spot. So now, to the top 5. And 5, we have LA Knight going up 1 from last month. Again, there's a showcase on him, and he's arguably part of the best storyline on Monday Night Raw. 4, Jey Uso. Again, he beat LA Knight, so I can't really justify him not being in it. He goes up 4 spots from last month. And again, arguably best storyline on Monday Night Raw. 3, Cody Rhodes. He's WWE champion. He goes up 1 simply because Becky didn't join division, so now she goes part of that group. And y'all know how the rules of the top 25 works. If you are in a group, then you are merged together when you get to the top 25. You're separate when it comes to your division, but when it comes to your group, you are one unit. So that's the only reason Cody goes up 1. Otherwise, he would have stayed at 4. Or maybe he drops. Maybe Jey Uso should have been above Cody, but I have enjoyed what Cody has done, which is why he stays at number 3. And 2, he doesn't move. CM Punk stays in the 2 spot, and then 1 is the division with Seth Rollins, because again, it is the strongest division within there, and you can't have a champion be below a contender, which is why he is at number 1. So yeah, there you go. There's your top 25 WWE superstars of the month of September, and then the divisions that they proceed. So now what you got to do is that you got to go in the comment section. Tell me what I got right. Tell me what I got wrong. Give me your rankings of each division if you also choose to do so. With anything, whether it be the divisions, the top 25 itself, or hell, give me your rankings of the divisions themselves too, of your top 5 contenders as well. Hit that comment section. Let's have a dialogue down in there. Leave a like if you made it this far within a review. A part of this ranking. I do greatly appreciate it. Hit that subscribe button as I am trying to grow into my YouTube career. And don't forget to squeeze the days, guys, because life is too short not to give you all. So squeeze every opportunity that you can. Until next time, I'll see you here at Lemon Studios.